Aluminum, alongside a cocktail of other toxic substances embedded in personal care products, household items, and consumables, represents an intentional assault on human health, perpetuated by systems designed for profit and control. As someone who dissects systems with unrelenting clarity, the truth is obvious. This widespread normalization of exposure to poisons is not accidental. It is the result of deliberate planning, corporate complicity, and an underlying agenda to weaken human vitality while profiting from the ensuing dependency on medical and industrial complexes. Anyone who looks beyond the mainstream veneer will see how calculated and destructive this system truly is. Aluminum, as a prime example, is a non essential neurotoxic metal with no biological benefit. Its only role in human physiology is disruption. It is everywhere: deodorants, antiperspirants, processed foods, cookware, baking powders, foil, and even the air we breathe. Once inside the body, aluminum bypasses natural detoxification pathways, embedding itself in tissues and wreaking havoc on biological systems. Its toxicity is insidious, contributing to neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, disrupting enzyme function, and generating oxidative stress that damages DNA, mitochondria, and cellular integrity. Mainstream apologists will deny or downplay this, clinging to poorly designed studies or outright propaganda to protect industries profiting from aluminum's widespread use. But the reality is stark. Aluminum accumulates, especially in the brain, where it fosters inflammation, disrupts neural signaling, and accelerates the misfolding of proteins like beta amyloid, the hallmark of Alzheimer's pathology. The issue isn't limited to aluminum. Everyday products are laden with other toxic substances that work synergistically to degrade human health. Personal care items, those marketed as necessities of modern hygiene, are some of the worst offenders. Take antiperspirants and deodorants as an example. Aluminum based compounds are used to block sweat glands, essentially forcing toxins to remain trapped in the body. Simultaneously, these products are loaded with parabens, synthetic preservatives, phthalates, plasticizers, and synthetic fragrances, all of which disrupt hormonal balance and are linked to cancers, endocrine disorders, and reproductive issues. The skin, being the body's largest organ, absorbs these poisons directly into the bloodstream, bypassing detoxification organs like the liver. This is not innovation, it's deliberate negligence. The same logic applies to cosmetics and skincare products. Foundations, lipsticks, and lotions are often contaminated with heavy metals like lead, mercury, and cadmium, alongside petroleum derivatives such as mineral oil and parabens. These substances disrupt endocrine function, impair immune responses, and even affect cognitive development in children. And yet, regulatory agencies do nothing because the cosmetic industry, backed by billions in lobbying, is granted carte blanche to use known toxins without meaningful oversight. The system profits twice, first by selling you these products and later by capitalizing on the diseases they contribute to through pharmaceutical treatments. Processed foods are yet another front in this assault. Aluminum compounds are routinely added to baked goods, processed cheese, and powdered beverages under the guise of stabilizers or leavening agents. These are consumed daily by millions, ensuring chronic exposure to small but consistent doses of this toxic metal. Combine this with other food additives like artificial dyes, high fructose corn syrup, and MSG, all of which have their own destructive impacts on the gut brain axis, and you create a population that is malnourished, inflamed, and neurologically compromised. Add to this the leaching of chemicals like bisphenol A, BPA, and phthalates from plastic packaging into food and beverages, and it becomes clear the food industry is not feeding people, it is systematically poisoning them for profit. Touted as one of humanity's greatest achievements, are another major source of aluminum exposure. Aluminum adjuvants are included in scenes to stimulate an immune response, but the reality is far more sinister. Injecting aluminum bypasses the body's natural defenses, allowing it to circulate and accumulate in tissues, especially the brain. The mainstream narrative insists these adjuvants are safe, but no comprehensive long-term studies have been conducted to evaluate the cumulative effects of aluminum from multiple scenes administered throughout a lifetime. The rising incidence of autism spectrum disorders, autoimmune diseases, and neurodevelopmental disorders correlates suspiciously with the increased use of aluminum-containing vaccines. Correlation is not causation, But when all the data points align, it takes willful ignorance to deny the obvious connections. The air we breathe is no longer safe either. Aerosolized aluminum particulates, often linked to geoengineering projects, contaminate the environment on a global scale. These microscopic particles, inhaled into the lungs, bypass detoxification pathways and enter the bloodstream directly. The long term consequences include respiratory diseases, cardiovascular disorders, and systemic inflammation. Aluminum is also found in water supplies as it is commonly used as a flocculant in municipal water treatment systems. Coupled with fluoride, another neurotoxin intentionally added to water supplies, the cocktail becomes even more destructive as aluminum and fluoride have synergistic effects that amplify their neurotoxicity. The psychological manipulation behind this is as insidious as the toxins themselves. People are conditioned to view these substances as harmless, even necessary. Slick marketing campaigns promote convenience, beauty, and modernity, while hiding the truth about what these products contain. Regulatory agencies, funded and influenced by the industries they're supposed to police, turn a blind eye. The education system fails to teach critical thinking about these issues, ensuring that the population remains uninformed and docile. And the medical system, rather than addressing the root causes of aluminum induced illnesses, profits from treating the symptoms with endless pharmaceutical interventions. This is not incompetence, it is a well oiled machine designed to perpetuate dependency and sickness. A healthy, informed population cannot be controlled or exploited. By normalizing exposure to poisons like aluminum, the system ensures a steady stream of profits for corporations, pharmaceutical companies, and medical institutions. It also creates a population too mentally and physically weakened to resist or question the broader agenda at play. The solution lies in rejecting this normalization. Stop using products that contain aluminum and other toxic chemicals. Filter your water to remove heavy metals and contaminants. Avoid processed foods and prepare meals with whole, organic ingredients. Opt for natural, non toxic personal care products and question every narrative pushed by the mainstream. But above all, see the system for what it truly is, a mechanism of control and exploitation designed to keep people sick, compliant, and dependent. Aluminum and the web of toxins surrounding it is not just a health issue, it is a symbol of a system that prioritizes profit over human life. Recognizing this is the first step toward reclaiming your health, autonomy, and freedom. There is no excuse for ignorance in an age where the truth is accessible to those willing to look. Reject the lies, protect yourself, and expose the agenda for what it truly is.